Hello, everyone.
Hello, Corin,
What's
you need
happening,
me?
y'all?
It's all
Danny,
good.
my friend.
Corin,
Arroyo.
good to see you, Corin.
Arroyo.
Hey, Corin.
Arroyo.
Excellent to see
As
you
you
all.
Good to
remember in
see
the
you,
interview,
buddy.
Danny, I couldn't say your last name. It's
It's
good to see
Arroyo
you
if you want to
too.
be really cool.
So, and now we're going
Where's
to bring in
Where's
Gary
Big Gary?
Corins from
Yes.
Daylabor too. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello, Gary. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's good to see
Th-
everybody again.
Hey, Gary,
There's
how
the
you
man.
doing?
There's the man I owe the job to.
You owe me nothing, brother.
Did I ever send you the 10%? What
Yeah.
happened
Never. That's all good. I owe
there?
you. I owe you.
Gary called me out of the blue. He
10%.
recommended me for the role, and God bless you for that, man. It was a fun time.
Well, there's more coming up. Trust me. I got some big ones. Your man's on
Sweet.
it.
I got
Yeah.
to
Are you?
stop you from hump. I got to stop
Are
you from
you?
humping your brother, and I got to get into a knife fight with Danny. It was great.
That's right. It's
Fun
wonderful.
times,
I know.
man.
Yeah.
I have to say that I've just watched Daylabor on Apple TV. Great by all cast. It moved me tremendously because the immigration and the border and things that were going on. I can hear that little bit of background noise, but I don't know where it's coming
From you.
from someone.
Uh,
But anyway, Daylabor is amazing. You should watch it on Apple TV. Apple TV. It's on Fandango, Voodoo channel. You can watch the trailer on YouTube. So, the writer is Sean Crayne. He may be joining us shortly. So, how did this all come about, Danny?
okay, I guess I'll start here. It started with, I think we got somebody else coming on board here, by the way, Sean.
Sean
It looks
Crayne,
like,
the writer.
yeah. It started with me where Justin Nesbitt, who's a producer on the project and casting, he reached out to me. Hadn't talked to him in a number of years, and he reached out to me over Instagram. Uh, just asked him how I was doing, and said that they had a project that I would be right for, and to reach out to the director and have a conversation with R.L.S. Frazier, which I did, and it just kind of went from there. But that he thought of me out of the blue, I was just very grateful for, because he said he's been following me. He's seen the work that I've been putting up on Instagram, saw that I was still very active and working and had projects. And it's just the way it serendipitously worked out, where it was like, you are so right for this. Have a conversation. There's still other people that are in the running, but let's see what happens. And Frazier and I just hit it off great. And we had some conversations, some emails, and then they wound up giving me the job a few days later, which I'm telling you, it was like such a gift. It was one of the best jobs I ever worked on. I made some great friends, and I thank Justin for that very much. I bought him a bunch of gifts too after it was done. He's a big Baltimore Ravens fan, so when it was all said
Yeah,
and done, I sent him a bunch of Ravens swag and stuff, blankets and face masks and you name it, just out of gratitude.
that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. You have been chatting with Sean in Instagram. So here he is. I know he's filming right now. I mean, Roberto Sanchez is also filming, but he will try and pop on. Amy Johnston is also in the cast, and she's an amazing actress, and she's also filming right now, which is great news because
I love people are busy. Isn't that
people
great?
are busy. People are busy. Welcome, Sean Crayne, the writer of Daylabor. How are you?
Hey,
He's,
Sean.
I think he's just connecting. So, Corin, you all went to Mexico on this project, and
Yeah.
uh, and how did you feel about filming with also David Fernandez as well in the cast? It was great story, and it really touched my heart. Share your
Yeah.
experience of the cast members.
Well, I tell you, it was so damn cold the whole time. All we did was listen to each other chattering our teeth. Uh, but
So true.
it was actually a really great experience, just in that well, at least we were all at the same hotel, which was nice. We got to like socialize a bit down in the lobby, and the little the work schedule was especially for Danny, my gosh, but the work schedule was so intense. There wasn't really a lot of time to do much hanging around. even on set, there wasn't a whole lot of time. But
It's all go.
the one thing, it was go. But the one thing that was shining through was everybody's attitude about being there and about being uncomfortable and cold and everything. But we were uncomfortable and cold together, and we were all part of the team trying to, make a smaller budget film come to life and be as vivid and as dynamic as humanly possible. And for us as the actors, at the end of the day, no matter how small the budget is, it's our faces that end up on screen. So, we got to come with it as best we can.
Well, I have to say, it doesn't look low budget to me. As I watched it on Apple TV, it's great. It's the story behind it, because it's so real. As I said, I can't give too much away. I don't want to be a film spoiler here, but it is placed at the border, and I know there's over 3,000 immigrants that go missing each year and never to be found, and it's based on that kind of story. So, Gary, what's your take on this situation?
That's a horrible situation. All around. It sucks all around.
But how did you feel on set?
I loved. It's one of my favorite projects. Got to work with one of my idols right there, Corin Nemec.
Right.
Oh,
Everyone
please.
knows the story. No, it's true. I mean, literally, to be able to, work with him was great. I waited like 20 years, maybe more, longer than that, 30 years to try to work with the dude. I've been a fan of him, so it's a highlight for my whole career. I've worked with a lot of great actors, a lot of legendary actors. But I remember sitting on the porch that first moment where I had a little one-on-one moment with Corin.
It's a great scene.
It was literally, I couldn't wait. And I was excited about the project before, but when David and Ojan hit me up and said, hey, do you know anyone with some type of name value or whatever, I instantly thought of Corin and text Corin, and obviously it worked out. And boom, that was a long story short, but it was a great shoot, getting to work with Danny. And I mean, everyone was an absolute joy. Their positive energy through the cold ass weather, cuddling by the heaters was my favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
I was fanboying when I heard that Corin was going to be on the production. This is
get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I remember seeing him from Parker Lewis, and I remember seeing him on a miniseries called The Stand.
Yeah. You were just at that screening for that.
Yeah, I was just there yesterday for a screening, and when I heard he was there, and I was just like, man, I've read The Stand 3 times. I've listened to the audiobook twice. I was like, he's gonna be there, and he's playing like one of my nemesis. I was like, oh my god! And then upon meeting him, having dinner with him initially, and seeing he was just the coolest guy, I was just like, it was like a pinch me moment. I had one of the. Remember when I geeked out when I saw you at that Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, that's fun, dude.
I was out just taking pictures of you. It was such a great pure.
Dude, by the way, how delicious were those restaurants, bro?
No, yeah.
Right across the street from our hotel. It was delicious, great food. And this is during the time of COVID. It's something we're forgetting. We had to constantly be having COVID tests, wear our masks. So, and it was freezing. It wasn't the most pleasant, but we made it work. We camaraderie, a friendship, and we really made this work.
Yeah, and of course, the subject matter is the subject matter, and the topic is obviously touchy with this, with everything going on in the world today and all of that. And and as an actor, really, you just have to look past that side of it and just focus on what the character is, what the role is. And, I mean, I have to put my own personal, opinions about the whole thing aside, especially to play that guy.
Yes, you played a naughty boy, Corin.
It was hilarious. What a guy.
Yes, yeah.
At the premiere, Corin wasn't at the premiere, but every time he spoke or made a gesture, you hear a couple people chuckle because it was such a standout character in a good way. They responded to your role. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just great. Seriously, every scene Corin's in, he just steals it. So.
Well, everybody did.
Everyone did.
Yeah, Corin set the tone in the beginning. You know, he gave the quote unquote bad guys a perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, we understood that there were things going on that happened in their past that made them do what they were doing and believe what they believed. That they took it to the nth degree later on when you discover that it wasn't just that, but they were also, you know, there's a scene later on where there's, you know, bodies here and there and stuff. And I'm not giving much away there. That you go, oh, these guys went too far. They really are, you know, they have an agenda, and I get it, but they went too far, and the film needed that. But Corin was the one that started it off by really expressing his beliefs with such, you know, such heart behind it. Even though there was anger behind it, you can empathize and go, wow, okay,
Right.
I see what he's doing. And just the ending, you know, probably shouldn't have gone that far, Corin and Gary. That was a little too much. You guys did at the end there.
Hey,
So,
I didn't go too
But
far.
you know what? You did bring some humour into it. I mean, I don't know whether I can quote the line. No, I can't, because I want people to watch it. But you know, the butter knife. I was chuckling away at that because I thought that was so funny. It was almost English. You know the quote you made, and then Gary told me that you made your own dialogue.
Some of it, I mean, you know, it was fortunately that everybody was really cool. Our writer as well. God bless you for being open to being able to be a little bit freed up from the dialogue on set and run with some ideas as they come,
Right.
and I really appreciate that. Because the script itself was well written, and that's what first attracted me to it. When Gary sent me, I was like, wow, this is, you know. I was bummed my character wasn't in it more, but I was like, this is a well written script, and that's actually a good thing, you know, because believe me, I've taken roles where I'm like, oh, thank God my character dies, you know,
Yeah.
I was shocked at
thank
that.
God I'm out of this movie. But in this case, it would, you know, the script was really well done, and it was one of those ones where I'm like, wow, man, I wish my character was in it more, and that's
Yeah.
kudos to the writing. So
Which is Sean Crayne. Hello, Sean.
yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, Sean, what's up,
What up,
man?
We're
Danny?
doing good.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to
Corin,
see you,
thank you for
brother.
that, by the way. That's a good segue. That was a nice segue to me popping on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
I know, right?
My
That
pleasure.
was timed
It
perfectly.
was well
We didn't
written.
even.
It was like
Very
saying
well written.
Beetlejuice three times, and then suddenly I pop up.
It's magic on a Sunday afternoon. So, Sean, fantastic film. I really enjoyed it. It really touched my heart. I know there's a bit of aggression in there, but it's a great storyline, and I'm sure many will relate, especially what's going on with the borders right now. It's security. Obviously, it might not be so violent, but you don't know. But so where did the inspiration to write this Daylabor come from?
Um, I loved Most Dangerous Game as a kid. It was one of the first like short stories. It's not a very long story or book. It's usually in like a little literature book that you get in class, and I read it. And Most Dangerous Game was awesome. A guy winding up in an island and then being hunted for sport because, you know, he'd never hunted a human. He had gotten all these things before. And so obviously that story has been used countless times. It's something that works all the time. People seem to love it. But then I just kind of was like, you know, there's not really a Mexican hero. And I was like, okay, what's going on in this country right now that is prevalent? You know, at the time, Trump was talking about building borders and people were against illegal immigrants or immigration from really anywhere. And everything was kind of locked down at the time. And then so it kind of just stemmed from the fact that I'm married to a Latina and then wanting to have a Mexican hero. And then I loved Rambo. So really Rambo meets Most Dangerous Game, put them all together. What do you got? You got Daylabor. And that's really what I was stemming from.
It's awesome, and yeah, and I love the twist. I won't say too much because I don't want to be a spoiler. I love the twist of Danny's character, how they judged him for a certain way, and they were totally wrong, and it backfired. Really, isn't it? You know, it backfired on him because of his character and who he actually
The
was.
trailer kind of gives that all away a little bit too. The trailer tells a really great story without giving too much away, but we do understand that, you know, that people are kidnapped and they're being hunted and stuff. So that's not
Right.
really a big spoiler. The trailer did a great job of telling that story.
It did, and I encourage everybody to. So are you going to be going into film festivals next year with this?
Testing. It's the film's already out, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
but
I,
does it
I,
represent?
I think the film won. I think how we won was that it's playing on Apple TV, which is one of the biggest platforms out there right now. Soon to be on Amazon. You can get it on iTunes, Fandango. But Apple TV is a major
Yes.
platform to be able to say it's playing there and it premiered there. I think that's the win that more of a win than any film festival can ever grant us right
Yeah.
now. And we have people that are now watching it. They could stream it. They could rent it. They could buy it. We have the DVD out right now too. So I think that's the huge win. What do you guys think?
I think so. Yeah, Apple TV's big, isn't it? Here we go, Daylabor.
Yeah.
And
Um,
you're all on IMDb too, and you're all on social media. Would you like to
Yep.
give your handles on social media so people can find you and your current projects, what you're doing right now?
Go ahead.
I mean, mine is at Mr. Danny Arroyo for Instagram. Mr. Danny Arroyo, Arroyo. It's pretty much the only social platform that I have, and I can write it out for you guys if you want.
Well, let's put it this way. Wait a second. I just need to say this quick because this is the first time I've been able to see Danny, get in touch with Danny, or be with Corin. Sam, pleasure to meet you. Gary, I love getting off the phone with you, Gary.
Yeah, I talk to Sean every day.
Yeah, I was like, I've been talking to Gary every day. But with Corin, I have to say this, and Danny, Corin, I've already told you this on Instagram. You're my wife's favorite character. Your character is actually named after my grandfather who passed away, named Floyd. So that was.
I hope he wasn't
my
as
grandfather
ornery.
was not racist. No, my grandfather was not.
I named you after my racist granddaddy.
I was like, what do you think of that,
Corin.
Corin? No, I did it because you never know in this industry if you're going to make another film. And so I kind of named a lot of characters after family members all the way through. I mean, Chris is named after my father. Then you have Lucas, which is named after my cousin. And then Travis is my stepdad. Floyd is my grandfather. Everything down the line was pretty much my family. So when they saw the film, they're like, hey, was that named after me? My stepdad. I'm like, kind of was named after you. You're kind of a dick.
Nice. I did want to touch on one of the nuances of the writing as well that I found really interesting when I first read the script was when they found out that there was a U.S. GI and it became this moral struggle. It didn't matter what his background was in terms of his ethnicity. And that's what twisted it for me is like, okay, so these guys, it's not even that they're racist. You know what I mean? It's not even as simple as that. It's like they're fine with anybody who's American and who's here. They're anti, immigrants or migrants or whatever you want to, whatever terminology you want to use. And that to me was like a really interesting moment for the character and for all the characters, to have to realize, oh, we've screwed up here. Now we're actually going against everything it is that we said that we're supposed to be doing here, and their whole world falls apart after that too. I think it was a really cool catalyst, a really great moment when I was first reading the script that drew me in even further because it added a whole nother layer there that made this family even more diabolically interesting.
And Corin, sorry Sam, but I wanted to just touch on that quick for Corin is that Danny's character even was going to have more moments at the beginning where he was just sitting outside the Home Depot looking at the cash he had, seeing this and that, and then as the family went through, you had Lucas played by Gary, that was the morality, but then you had Floyd and Travis, which were basically the leaders, the elders. They'd been there forever. They'd basically seen this stuff happen to their family, Travis loses his wife and his daughter to illegal immigrants who came across the border since they're in Texas. And so they kind of were like, we don't care if they're legal. They're here. They did it the right way. Cool. We're cool with it. If they came over illegally, we're not cool with it. and we're going to do something about it. But then Danny, being that character, like you said, realizing that Danny's actually an American citizen, even in the script, originally it was just like, and kind of picked into the movie is very much like, well, damn, now we kind of have to cover our tracks, and this is truly a hunt now, and now we're kind of fucked. But we got to hide it.
And that's where Danny turns into Rambo.
It's a shame that they didn't film those scenes, Sean. You mentioned looking at the money, because I had a lot of people tell me they loved the film, and they were just, boy, we wish we knew a little bit more about what was the backstory, like what happened to him in the military that made him, be such a sufferer of PTSD and clearly just reliving the war as these things are happening to him, which is something I took very personal and wanted to really embody when playing Derrick.
Right.
We don't know what he went through. The film doesn't really show it, but the audience is smart enough to fill in the blanks and go, something's going on with him. And that's all I really ever wanted to do when I was playing him. And I credit that to also Frazier, the director, our artist Frazier. Because sometimes when you see a scene, you may tendency overact or try to do too much. And he was always telling me throughout the film, bring it back, bring it back. Your performance is in the eyes. There's stuff going on in here that we're seeing here as you're performing here, and let the audience fill in the blanks the rest of the way here. That you're suffering from PTSD is enough. We get it. And we're seeing that you're reliving what you've been through. That's all we need. And I give him credit for that. And I did my best to try to honor that for people who do suffer from this, the term was shell shock back in the day. Today it's PTSD. That's what I was trying to bring forth. So great job on writing that, and great job for Frazier for pushing that. Less is more, less is more, less is more. He was preaching that all the time.
And it's reality PTSD. And just for the audience, we do have the trailer. Bonnie, thank you, Bonnie, for producing this. She's going to show the trailer now for the audience. And that should be coming up right now.
Hey, I see it.
This is the trailer of
Any illegal that crosses the border, well, they shouldn't be afforded the same rights as someone that was born here.
It's foreign.
You get to earn your right to live, get back home. We're gonna give you 22 hours. Get your ass back to where you came from.
We gotta get the hell out of here, or we're all dead.
What happened?
It's spoiled. We're being hunted.
Welcome to the game of your life. You see, y'all came into our great country illegally. And I'm sure that took skill, cunning. Well, you're gonna need more of that today. Y'all ready to play hide and go seek?
We finish this now!
This land is my land, and it ain't made for you and me. Comprende? Well, we'll see you soon.
This is for everything I've lost!
Amazing.
Doesn't Corin have the best voice? He is like, this is my land.
He's very dramatic, isn't he? Anyone would think he was an actor.
He does it so good.
I'm going to have to start my own AM talk show radio, I'm not even going to name this channel. Never mind. Moving on. Next question.
You can. It's okay. I don't mind sharing his You ever thought of being a voice actor, Corin?
the Saltine Militia forum.
I don't even know what that is.
Saltine cracker.
I know that Corin needs to do more voiceover because he is so great. He sounds so great, man. He's just got that voice about him, man.
Yes, you all do though. Corin is great.
Looks
his
made for radio.
background, huh? Looks great
Looks
for
made for
radio.
radio.
Oh, don't be daft. No, I think you're all great.
And if I may add, I firmly believe is the heart of the film is Gary. Gary's character, man, because he's
no doubt.
I mean, he's doing the best he can to follow along with the family that he loves, that he grew up with, that they look out for him, and he's able to weigh the right and what's wrong, and his heart is what carries the film because the audience is really feeling what he's feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, even those who may agree what they're doing, but they're seeing what Gary's character is going through. Gary's that guy, and I think he just did a tremendously great job in the film. So just kudos, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
Danny,
I
you
agree,
said it.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
love
was
the
surrounded by
fact that you
greatness.
were conflicted. You were conflicted, you know, with your between humanity and loyalty to your family in your
It was all the
character,
cold. It
Gary.
was all the cold weather. I was conflicted. I was trying to stay warm the whole time. That's all it was. I was just trying to stay warm.
The shifting eyes was him looking for the space heater offset.
Yeah, no, for real.
Really?
I was waiting for them to say cut so I can go back to the tent. That's all I was waiting for. Yeah, hurry up. Let's get the
Just
scene
saying
done
that-
and move on. Yeah.
We have people in the live chat. KZ Howell, Corin says, "Good guys play the best bad guys."
Oh,
That's
that's
from
very
KZ
nice.
Howell.
Hey,
Yeah.
KZ. Wonderful guy. Great writer.
Yes.
Good, really great guy.
Oh, and Katso Nemec, bad guys.
Oh,
meow.
no.
he's
Not
not here.
Katso.
Somebody we
Haunted.
know.
Stalked.
That's right,
Katso is an account on X that I've been in cahoots with for I'd say 10 years or so, and in fact it's a mock account that makes fun of me. All the account is just it's a red tabby cat. I did a convention over in France or somewhere at one point, and somewhere out there the rumor got out that I didn't like cats. And it's not that, and a lot of fans of Stargate and Supernatural and all that are cat people, you know. And so I had, you know, to very softly explain that it's not that I don't like cats, I just don't want to live with cats, and that whole thing. And then suddenly on Twitter, this account popped up named Katso Nemec, and it was this rascally tabby cat that liked to make fun of me. And at first, people got offended for me and reported the account a number of times, and it got shut down several times, but kept popping back up. And finally, people got the idea that I have a good sense of humor, and I thought it was hilarious. And now it's 10 years later, and you know this cat is still harassing me.
And he's still anonymous, isn't he? Yeah, we've had a laugh with cats, though. He's still anonymous. So
Yeah, no idea who it is. I have one suspicion, but I have my hair is all over the place. What's going on here? I have one suspicion, but I'm not going to worry. I don't know. I have no idea who it is. So it's a big mystery sandwich.
we all thought it
But
was
back
David.
to Daylabor. Some people thought it was me. I'm like, do I have that much
At
time on my
first.
hands?
Yes.
Run around making memes of myself? I don't have that much time on my hands.
So Maria Elizabeth said, "What is Danny's next project?"
Oh, hey, hi, Mariah. My
Mariah,
next
sorry.
project is I'm not sure. I wrote a project called Socio. That's me and a producing buddy of mine, Rayhan. We're planning on making it sometime this summer. We're just in the process of developing it, raising some money for it. But that's the next one I'm planning on. But in the meanwhile, I am auditioning, 4, 5, 6 days a week, sometimes on a good week, and hoping for something good to come along down the pipeline. But yeah, nothing concrete. I do have a TV show that's coming out called Wild West Chronicles, August 8th, where I play Tiburcio Vasquez, the bad guy of California from the 1880s. So that's fun. That's an episode
Cool.
in 2
That's
months.
awesome.
So that was a good time. Got to wear the beard. I got to be a bad guy like Corin. Maybe not as much, but I got to be a really good bad guy, a very charismatic bad guy.
You are.
Excellent.
So, and Garrett, Robert Ben, Bobby Ben, I was just in Texas with him. We did media coverage at a Comic-Con in Texas, the Frightmare weekend. I didn't see that comment, Bonnie. It's popped up.
There he is.
Is there going to be part 2 of the book?
Of what? Maybe he means the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. He didn't
But
specify.
I'm dead, so it won't really matter if there's a part 2 unless it's a prequel.
Corin's going to come back as a ghost.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So, Gary,
Prequel would be interesting, though. Prequel would be interesting just because could show actually how the family kind of came about this game and almost the start of it, kind of like a purge, right? The first purge that they did for those movies was showing how everything kind of came about, and it would be interesting to see, other people fighting back against this family almost, and how the family actually won, and it almost strengthens the fact that they go down in day labor.
Yeah, and I'm shaved now, so I look younger. It's perfect.
Yeah.
yes, and your hair's cut. Very nice. He means Corin's new book. Corin, your new book. Sorry.
I wrote a book on creating a character based on the new era acting technique that I studied with Manu Tupo at the American Repertory Company in Los Angeles for 10 years, and he had a very unique technique to acting that I found extremely profound, and after years and years of dwelling on it and picking it apart, I finally wrote a book about it. And and so I wrote a little book about it, and then and I'll be teaching some classes and stuff like that coming up at some point too. So that's the main reason why I wanted to write the book, was because I needed to have something that was a foundational kind of cornerstone to what it is that I'd be teaching, or where I'd be teaching from. That I could speed the process up for people.
That's awesome. Thank you very much for explaining that. It's really good. Is Samantha, Samantha Wasco, she said, is there a possibility for the cast to work together again?
Yeah, there's always that possibility. We could all work together. In fact, hey, Sean, why don't you write something for the 3 of us?
Yeah, Sean, what are you doing, man?
What are you doing? Come on, man. You're just sitting there in a tank top, looking handsome.
Well, he's in Vegas right now.
I want to see bloody fingertips.
You're in Vegas right now, working on a project, Sean.
Actually, we have a lot of things coming up the great right now. I've been blessed enough to be putting a lot of stuff down, and honestly, Corin, your name and Danny's name has come up actually a lot for some of the stuff coming up. I have 7 projects that I'm trying to get off the ground. Currently, I will be going to Vegas. It got pushed a little bit, but I head out on Thursday, and I'll be filming a horror thriller. I'll be directing it. My directorial
Vegas
debut.
is a horror thriller.
Congratulations, Sean. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's starring Gary Cairns and as Eli, and Amy Johnston from Daylabor is also going to be in it as well. So I got 2 people from the Daylabor cast, and so eventually maybe I'll just keep adding people from the Daylabor cast to all my projects as I go down the line.
We'll be like a Shakespearean troupe. Sometimes I'll play the woman, sometimes whatever. I'll throw on a wig.
We got a western. We got a western we wrote that you guys would fit in very well too.
That's funny, Corin.
Can we all talk about how great Amy Johnston was in this production here in Daylabor? I just felt for her every time she was on camera and she spoke. You can see that she was going through the pain of not being with her ex-fiance, which happened to be the Derrick character. Like every time I saw her, I was like, you knew she wanted to save him, but there was also something deeper going on there. And her eyes and the way she just portrayed it, I thought she was terrific.
They must have had a good relationship, because if you're in combat with 2 terms, in combat with someone, it's like the police when they've got a partner. You're very loyal to that person, no matter what. Rachel Cooper just asked something, but it's just gone from the screen.
Yeah, it'd be great to know why they broke up. Like I did my own homework figuring out why they were no longer together, or what caused him to finally end it, and probably something he saw in the military or experienced. But it would be great to have had that explored further.
Absolutely.
Mm.
No,
Yeah, but I don't think that was the. I think you're right, Danny. I just don't think that's the focus of the film necessarily. Is that there was
Yeah.
something there in the past? The focus is more so about the event and what's going on, and really having you be the hero or be that leader, that Mexican Rambo, and not really that relationship. I think that Amy did a great job playing that. And you can see it on her face. She's going through it. I give her a huge kudos and shout out, because it's not, it's a little bit separated from her normal of everybody thinks, oh, she's just a martial artist. She's a stunt woman, but she can act. And
Yes, she
not
can.
only did she prove it here, but she's going to prove it in the film coming up too, called Pay Homage. So we'll look for that one. But there's actually a question from Kim Albright.
Yes.
Corin, are you going to do any more Lifetime movies?
I just did one. I think the working title is oh God, I can't even remember the working title. I just got back from we shot it out in the desert.
Something on Facebook?
No. It has to do with going out to a guru's, like a guru camp out in the desert, and everything takes place there. I don't know why it's slipping my mind. I wasn't expecting a Lifetime movie question. You caught me off guard. So many of them. But
That's
yeah,
what
I just
happens when
finished
it's
one.
live.
It'll be coming out probably in 4 months, as quick as those things turn around. But a lot of other projects I'm far more excited about. But that one, I have hopefully a character that brings some laughter to the scenes as well.
Yeah, we have a question. First film, I think it says, I'm a big fan of Danny. Just wanted to know, how does he feel about the decline of movies in theaters?
That's a terrific question. It's always, if I may be honest, it's always interesting. I don't know, Corin, or maybe you could speak on this here. It's always interesting to me when someone says, I'm a big fan of Danny and whatnot. Like, I've been getting that kind of feedback in the last few months or so. And it's just interesting to me to hear that, because I just do the work, and I don't think anybody, I don't even know if they watch it or whatever. And someone to say that, it's just like, people are watching my work. That's like amazing. So
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like I'm Corin. To me, Corin is a star. You know what I mean?
Please, not even close. A star is a flaming ball of gas.
The decline of
I
movies.
am not.
The question was, I see movies all the time in theaters, and even I have been affected by not going as much as I used to since quarantine. I'm the guy that will go see. I'll see a movie if The Godfather's playing in the theaters as a revival. I'll go see it again, even though I've seen it 68 times. Yesterday, I went to a screening of The Stand that Corin is one of the stars in. It was like 7 hours of sitting and watching a movie. I love going to movies to watch movies. I don't care if it's an old movie, definitely the new ones. But yes, even I've been affected by it. I haven't gone as much as I used to. I used to go once a week, see 2 or 3 movies. So I think we're going to get back to the theater experience and understanding that movies are meant to be watched on the big screen. Because look, when we saw Daylabor on the big screen for our film premiere, how great was that experience compared to watching it on Apple TV? It's way different. I saw things in there that a movie theater just can give you that a TV can't. Doesn't matter how big your TV is. So fingers crossed that we were able to come back to watching movies in theaters, and that becomes a thing instead of sitting at home and watching it and then, interrupting because you're on Instagram and you're not paying attention, or you kind of are going around. You actually are watching and experiencing the way it was meant to. So hopefully it does come back. That was a great question.
Yeah, I think.
Can I tell you what the issue is? What I think the issue is.
Oh,
in the 80s, we're all going to the movies. There was no streaming on TV. We had 3 channels in England. It was BBC 1, 2, and Channel 3, and that was it, right? That's all we had. So we all went to the movies. And then COVID, it all shut down. But the prices, Danny, it's $50 for 2 people, and then you've just walked in the door.
Well,
because you got your
gonna.
popcorn. It is the price. The price is
I was gonna
$25 for 2 tickets.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they scaled the ticket price to the budget of the film
Yes.
instead of doing a blanket price across. So for
Hmm.
the 300 million whatever films, you're paying that really premium price. But for a movie that costs 23 million, 13 million, you're paying, $7, 550, whatever, because then I would go to the movies a hell of a lot more to see films that
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that are smaller budget. But if I'm gonna go see a smaller budget film, I don't want to pay,
Yeah.
big budget price for it. That's
I know.
crazy.
My son
And I
wanted to
think
go
more
and he
people would
spent
go
50
if they
bucks.
scaled the
Yeah.
price like that. I think more
Yeah.
people would be apt to go to the movies and enjoy a day out, because it'd be affordable. And they'd start seeing movies that they most likely wouldn't see generally in the movies because it's affordable.
I
That
agree
was the other thing about
100%.
the 80s, the 70s, and the 80s. Going to see a movie was like one of the cheapest things you could do.
Right. Not
If
now.
I may add as well
Even in the
too, what's
90s.
also changed is that when movies are playing in the theaters, they come to streaming much faster.
Yeah.
Like Maestro, for example, they were up. Maestro with Bradley Cooper, that was up for maybe a week to 2 weeks in theaters. Immediately went right to Netflix, but that was them trying to get their Oscar nomination, because if a film plays in theaters for a week, at least 10 days, then you're eligible for Oscars. But it came to streaming right away, so I didn't even get a chance to see it in the theaters because I was like, "Oh, it's here already." Because I would have gone seen it, and then while I was there, I was like, "Well, while I'm here, let me hit play," and I started watching it, and so I
Yeah.
missed that theater experience, which is that's a whole other thing there. Yeah,
Well, I think the theatre companies really, I know they've got to make their money, but they have students usually working there, and I think they're ruining it for the film production companies and for the actors and the film by charging as much as they do, even for just a popcorn, but I think it would change if they lowered their prices just a little bit. What do you think, Gary?
I completely agree. You should lower the. I like what Corin said about scaling them
Mm-hmm.
down, and then
Yep.
but then you might hear someone
Good
might
way.
be unfair or something like that. But I agree. If they scale to the budgets, they should do it. They should definitely, and it'll give more independent films a bigger audience in a theater type setting. Like Danny was saying, watching Daylabor on the big screen was special. And then, I mean, I have a nice little setup in my house, but it's not like the damn movie theater with the sound and it was really
Yeah.
cool to see.
You can't beat the experience at the theatre, I have to say that.
Yeah.
Can we get a movie based on Derrick Reyes and his past? I'd love to see that. I can't read it. Hey, it's me. I can't.
I'd love
Can
to
you
see.
read that? Can you read that, Sean?
Yeah, so I'd love to see
I
more.
ain't
were
got my
such a
glasses on
badass
and
when
I'm
he
not putting
I
my...
need more, please.
Oh my God, that's so.
I
That's so
am
funny.
not putting my glasses on
It's
live
great.
stream.
No, that's
I
great.
should, but
I would love to have a Derek Reyes past thing there, where you experience what happened to him in Afghanistan with him and Amy, and we kind of figure out
Oh
what the
yeah.
story is, and how many people that he killed that made him become this laden PTSD guy that could actually leave such a great person like Amy, and then go off and I mean, man, I went through a lot in my thinking process filming that, and it would be tremendous to have a, you know, what? How about a double story? Telling Corin's backstory that we then cut to Derrick's backstory, and it's just the same. It was like the
They're happening
Godfather Part Two.
simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, you have Michael's story in Godfather Part Two, and then you have the young Vito Corleone is also in the same Godfather Part Two, and just me and Corin just intermixing it back and forth. What
Yeah,
about
there we
that?
go. Get on it, Sean. Get on it.
yeah.
I want to see those
Clip,
fingers flying.
Yeah, you like
fingers
All right, guys, I
flying.
got to get off this then. I'll be back in a little bit.
Gunsel. Kim Albright
Yeah.
said she wished all the cast members in Daylabor would make a movie.
We just did. It's called Daylabor.
Yeah.
I knew Corin would come at me.
You did it.
Scorpio.
Uh,
Oh, Bonnie. I'm going to put my glasses on. I don't care.
I would like
I'm
to know
blind as a
Corin,
bat.
where are the rap
Bonnie Bell, I would
Oh,
like to know. I'd like
that's
to know,
hilarious.
Corin, rap songs.
I oddly enough, no, it's just along when I was a teenager, I was big in the hip hop scene and all that, and I had a group that I rapped with called the Starship of Fools, and we ended up doing we developed an album with Motown New York, and I just recently found a bunch of old demo tapes and stuff like that from it, and I just am getting them digitized right now, so. I'll put them all out on SoundCloud just for fun in the next month or so.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Corin,
we'll
we
So
got a
you
see.
actually
collab then,
found them.
Corin. I'm on SoundCloud already. Snoda is my rap name from
Well, I don't
Minnesota.
necessarily rap anymore,
Oh
but
yeah,
this is
you
from
do,
like the
Corin. Don't
late
you lie to
'80s,
me.
early '90s. This is like vintage rap.
I
And I
know
did.
boom bap, baby. Boom bap 90s. That's what I go. That's what my rap style is. We got this.
Hey, you can rap about your
I
life.
have
Yeah,
the
I've got.
backstory. I have the backstory. Corin's character was a rapper, and it didn't work out for him. And then his mother got killed by illegal immigrants, and then
Oh
he
my goodness.
became this guy here in day labor. So I see
That's
it.
why
See it
you have the
happening.
radio station.
Rachel
Makes
Cooper,
sense.
I have a question for all the guys, especially you, Sean. What tips would you give to someone who is interested in trying their hand at script writing for the first time?
Well, I know Corin writes. I know Gary writes.
I write too as well. Yeah.
I
Yes,
say,
of course.
Danny, okay, you're right. I would say that I started writing in the 6th grade. I wrote my first script that was terrible. I continued writing, and I never went to school for it. What I did was I looked up online at UCLA, USC, all the books that they were giving to their students. My brother-in-law went to UCLA for law, and he happened to be in the store, and he's like, look, there's all these film books. Like, do you want me to buy some for you? And I'm like, yeah. So I don't have to pay the crazy price of $50K for student loans or stuff. Yeah, give me those books so I can just read them in my house. And I would say that for someone interested in trying their hand at script writing, for you, Rachel, there's no trying your hand at script writing. You either do or you don't. That's my philosophy anyway. It's a Yoda philosophy. Do or do not. There is no try. Because if you're truly ready to do it and you want to do it, there's a lot of people that say they're a screenwriter, and I'm like, oh really? What have you done? What have you written? And they're like, I'm 30 pages in, but it's going to be good. I swear. And I'm like, well, have you written anything else? They're like, no, but I'm 30 pages in. Screenwriters got to think it all out, and screenwriters really getting into their craft. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, really cool, man. Cool.
Like
guy.
I'll
All
never
right.
make it.
Yeah. Good
I'm
luck
like,
with that.
have a good one. But just to show quick, so these are recent screenplays
Oh,
that
wow.
I have written, and I've got them all binded. And these are 4 of the 15 that I have bounded, that I have finished. And I continue to write every single day. You start small, write 5 pages a day is the goal. You continue, you look up the formatting, get final draft. Do not get cell text, which is super cheap, but there's Movie Magic, cell text, final draft. There's so many different things out there. But if you're trying to write a script and do that, have a story, go over the characters, have backgrounds for all of them, and just really put it down. I mean, that's my advice. I would love to hear from actually everybody else too.
Don't quick. I mean, I agree with everything you said. For me, I think that just like you, I have a nice stack of screenplays I've written over the years, and I ended up publishing a bunch of them on Lulu.com, and I did some really nice hard case covers to them and all of that. And I just, if somebody wants to read one of them, buy one. It's less than $20. You can read one of my scripts. Why not? Because I was sick of them sitting on my shelf collecting dust. I might as well share them, with somebody who's interested. But my main point is that I think as a writer, I had to learn early on, and it was also from my teacher Mano. He taught me is that if you're gonna become a writer, you have to write for yourself first, and worry about the rest later. Because and this is just his suggestion. Obviously, anybody can write for any reasons they want, but in writing screenplays for myself and writing stories that I wanted to write, and then in not even worrying about if they ever got made, being happy and content with the fact that I finished the process and that I have a finished product and that it's something that I created. To me, that should be enough. Now you can always, fight to have it made and do other things and struggle for that. I feel like you have to be willing for that alone to be enough to satisfy you. You know what I mean? And let the desire to have it become a real film drive you to get it done. But God forbid if it never gets done, you better be satisfied with the fact that you wrote it.
Well, there's so much that goes into it. I mean, people don't realise all the hard work, like with Blackwater Blues, you and Jason London with the script. I mean, you put all that hard work in and the production, and then the big thing is funding. Finding the funding for things is the main reason. Do you agree that
But
that things don't
let,
move forward?
but let me say,
Yeah.
funding may be the thing that you ultimately need to have to make the script, and that's what holds people's creativity back, because they're thinking 10 steps further when they should be just focusing on, as Sean said, let's write 5 pages a day if that's all you got. Don't worry
Good
about it being
advice.
perfect. Just write, and then the real writing comes in the rewrite. Just get the story out there, get it out there, and then the rewrite. That's when you'll start to flesh it out, clean it up, take off the fat from the bone, and just make it this great piece of prime. You know what I mean? But people defeat themselves from the beginning. Oh my God, how will I even find the money to do this? Why even bother? I go, then damn, then you're not.
Right, exactly.
Well,
Yeah, that's a
what's
good
the point? You can't think down the road. You got it's like you're building a habit of just learning to just happy to be writing about stuff that you know, stuff that you're familiar with. That's what I do. I mean, when my heart was broken, I wrote a romantic comedy. When I felt when I was
There was something funny about that?
yeah, I had to make it funny because I was brokenhearted. When I was into video
Yeah.
games, which I still play a lot, but I was really into video games. I wrote a video game script about a character. So you write about what you know, and then you make it funny. You make it this, make it that, and don't worry about the rest. And that's what you do. That's what keeps me going. I just know it's going to get better. I'm not worried about how bad it is now. It just will get better, So
I have to say, I've met Corin and Darren. I'm yet to meet Gary and Sean, but Danny has got these awesome red heart-shaped glasses. Are they heart-shaped? No, they're red glasses.
my glasses,
Yeah, they're awesome.
they're prescription.
famous.
Yeah, a lot of people have noticed. You guys see me wear the glass. I wear on the red carpet and stuff. There was a
Yeah.
prescription, and then when the sun comes out, they get the shade on it, so they look cool. It seems to be a signature thing of mine now. So
I know. I
wild.
love them.
It's what Gary. I want to hear about your writing thing. Come on, buddy.
Yes,
Share
come on,
stories.
Gary.
You guys painted the picture perfectly. I mean, I work with Sean a lot. We collaborate on a few scripts. He's constantly writing. He's definitely a screenwriter by trade more than me. I'm more a guy that if I have an idea, you have to write it. You can think about it. Like Danny, you were saying, people talk themselves out of doing it before they even finish it. The scripts I've written were just simply ideas I wanted. I got final draft, and I just got to start typing, like interior boom or whatever, and just let it flow. And that's all I've done. I've written a few scripts, one I've made, and a few we're about to make. So it's it's just being creative. It's an outlet. It's an outlet between projects is how I found writing, and it's therapeutic. So,
he's being modest. Don't even lull into this bull crap. Gary is a writer. He gets stuff done. Like Gary, he wrote an entire Western called Over Yonder, which I hope someday everybody can read and see. But he went in depth with this thing, going back and forth and written it out. And then he's like, Sean, can you? Oh my, cool. But I looked at it and it was a damn good. Gary,
He's
go
shy.
through your real
Gary's
process.
more shy.
Tell him the real shit.
I mean, you guys said it all so perfectly, like literally. I mean, you did. I agree. I share your words, and I really can't think of another way to say it. It's you just got to do it. I mean, literally, with the stuff like the Western Over Yonder I wrote, I had an idea. I had to map it out. I wrote the first draft in 6 days, and I literally didn't leave my room for like 6 days. Same with the Hype. I wrote that in 30 straight hours. Didn't leave the closet. I literally just have to go to the bathroom one time. That's it.
Nice.
You just have to lock and load and focus, and that's what I like to do when I'm about to film a movie, about to get crazy in Vegas. Believe me, it's lock and loaded on, especially on this role. So it's the same thing as an actor. I mean, writing, but I'm not like Sean. He can take a script and take an idea from somebody else and make it better. That's not my forte. Like Sean's a fucking magician with any script. Like even recently on a few buddies of our projects, he can just take it and make it better. I'd be like, I don't want to do it. I don't have them. Like, maybe I'm lazy. I don't know, but I just don't want to. If it's something passionate, like what we write, man, I love this. I love to just create the world, man. I mean, it's really a therapeutic process, really, for me. That's why I started writing. It's got me through, like Danny, heartbreak. I mean, it's got me through tough times. It's got me through all the BS the world wants to throw at us. I just spit it right back in its face. You know.
Did we all just become best friends?
I think we did.
Yes, yes.
No, we all just bonded
Can I
over
be a
over
best
this
friend
here.
too? Can I
Yeah.
hashtag BFF?
It's all besties here.
All
So
besties.
so Samantha said, I'm going to put these bloody things on. Excuse me. I'm trying to think of the word. This question: are any current films or shows directing giving you inspiration? That any shows or that you played in, or any directors that?
I'm always inspired by. See, I'm an old timey Hollywood guy. I love watching, classic films, and I see a lot of the actors, from the Marlon Brandos to the James Deans to the Montgomery Cliffs, all the way on through. Then you got the Gene Hackmans, and you got the Laurence Olivier's. I mean, I watch all that, and they inspired me from an actor standpoint. And then I see today people who write and produce and direct their own projects, like a James Cameron. He writes his own stuff. He produces it. He directs it, and he's in the editing room getting it done. This guy, from the beginning to end, has a vision, and if he can't figure something out, he has the right people around him to get his vision done. I admire that. You know what I mean? Like just the dedication and the fortitude to just keep moving forward and finding a way to get his vision done. I mean, the story behind how Cameron got the Terminator made is an inspiration in itself. When he's sitting there eating Burger King every day because that's all he can afford, as he's waiting for Arnold to finish Conan the Barbarian, and his mother's sending him money and sending him coupons, and he's just reworking the script, making sure it's the best it can be. And then when Arnold's able to come back, he has it so down pat to what he wants to do and how he wants to shoot it, and he became this thing, and he became now James Cameron. So people like that.
Gail Ann Hurd too. She's a good director.
Gail Ann Hurd, who was a producer on the project, she was his wife at the time. Even Sylvester Stallone, when he first wrote Rocky, and he was adamant, I'm playing this guy.
Yeah.
Even though he was offered like $250,000, more money he's ever seen in his entire life, and he went, nope, I'm not. I don't want the money. I want to play this role. And then look where he's at today. So I admire and respect the heart behind people doing stuff like that. And Sean, like I said, he's directing his first piece really soon. He wrote it. And he's directing. If anybody knows their script better than anybody, is the guy who's directing and who wrote his own project. So respect.
Yeah, Sean should have been directing a few movies ago. Of his that he wrote. So I'll put that out there.
It is a shame when you have. I have heard in the industry, you have a really good writer, and then it gets changed so much that you hardly recognise it. I think Sal was one of them. Stephen King's Sal. It was. People get disappointed.
Stephen King didn't like anything that was made. Stephen King, I think, only signed off on Cujo was the only one he signed off on. Like every single
and the miniseries The Stand, because he
signed
wrote the
up on The
teleplay for it.
Yeah,
he wrote the teleplay.
I was just like, dude, that guy was bagging on every single thing that came out for Stephen King.
No, I wish I hadn't said that.
No, I'm just saying he didn't even like The Shining, and The Shining is great. And he said, "Oh,
that was a good movie."
They butchered my story.
Yeah, I'll be very honest. When I first ever saw The Shining with Jack Nicholson, I wasn't a fan because I'm a big Stephen King fan. I read all the books, and it didn't match the book. But as the years went on, and I was rewatching The Shining, to me now Shining is a different. It's just I can separate the two. I have no problem doing it. Shining
Finally, after all these years. Jeez.
It took years, but I think The Shining is a outstanding horror film and the first class acting class with Jack Nicholson and everybody going through 100 takes. But but
well, I will be in Los Angeles on June 7th. Kim, we've got one more question, then I'm going to bring up the trailer again because I want people to be reminded that we are speaking about Daylabor too. So Kim Albright, Corin, are you going to do a Love America tour part
2? Part 2.
Deux toi.
Honestly, I would love to. I learned on the first one that the logistics of doing something like that were far more complicated than I had ever imagined.
Yeah.
And I was with like Shaggy and Scooby. Were my sidekicks, trying to get this thing made, and it was, it was a really, it took a lot out of me that month. In 1 month, we went to 5 different states, 16 cities, did like 68 interviews in the height of COVID with just everyday, Twitter folks just living their lives, and just to get a basic story of theirs. Where were they from? How they get to where they are now? What were their trials and tribulations? And where are they trying to get to? And that was it. Just trying to show. The main premise was to show that at a time when everything was so heightened and people were saying that flyover country was full of a bunch of backwards rednecks and racists, and and being from flyover country, I'm like, that's not true. I mean, there are some, but that's not true. So I wanted to prove the premise by actually going out there at a time when people were afraid to leave the house, and show that it was also safe to travel and see people and meet people and still, what I mean, do things.
Eat barbecues with Ryan.
Yeah. So, but I would love to do it again, but it just needs to be far more well planned and thought out with a proper crew.
And a proper RV.
Yeah, the RV was great. It had its problems. It was a gas guzzler, but the RV was great. She served us well. The Red Baron, we named her.
The Red Baron, yeah. I remember when you were trying to change the waterworks in there and you left the gasket off.
Garrett,
you're gonna have to do a monumental part 2 with Corin. Get in your RV and go with.
I remember when he was doing the tour for across America, whatever he was doing that, and I was telling him logistically, because when I did monumental, man, it was across the United States and back in 2 weeks was quite the journey. And using that RV it's like it read the script and became a method actor. I swear that fucking thing kept breaking down. So,
it was great though. Corin did actually bring a lot of people together online in such an awful time, and we called it the LatFam, and it was a great community. He did give some light to, in COVID, so I wanted to thank him. Actually, Corin was the inspiration why I started Chatbox with Sam, because I was on live streams with Corin and Husky and Bobby, Ben, and Bonnie.
Yep.
We all did that first, and then I thought, I'm going to start interviewing, because it's about showing how Corin brought out, showing how we're familiar yet uniquely different. I went, I'm totally going to jump on his bandwagon and do that.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you. So
and now we're here.
And now we're here talking about it. So I'm going to show the trailer again, and then you can all say your last words if you want, because I know you're all busy filming and doing stuff. So let's show the trailer one more time. Before we go, I wanted to say congratulations to Gary and Corin, who've married 2 beautiful ladies. They both look happy and healthy, and I'm very happy for both of them, and I know we all are. So,
and I want to congratulate Danny and Sean on their broken hearts and their and their traumatic breakups, and
I want to congratulate me. I'm still sleeping with a god every night. His name's Zeus, and he's got 4 legs and a tail.
Right on.
It's a true story. I love my Zeus. He's 4 now. Do you remember when he was a puppy, Corin? Well, he's 4. Rachel Cooper. We are all still family to this day. Yes, we are.
That's right.
And now here's the trailer for Daylabor. Thank you, Bonnie.
The way I see it, any illegal that crosses the border, well, they shouldn't be afforded the same rights as someone that was born here. You get to earn your right to live, get back home. We're gonna give you 22 hours. Get your ass back to where you came from.
We gotta get the hell out of here, or we're all dead.
What happened?
It's sport. We're being hunted.
Welcome to the game of your life. You see, y'all came into our great country illegally. And I'm sure that took skill, cunning. Well, you're gonna need more of that today. Y'all ready to play hide and go seek?
We finish this now!
This land is my land, and it ain't made for you and me. Comprende? Well, we'll see you soon.
This is for everything I've lost.
Well played by Kevin Gage too. That is awesome. I've just seen him in another film.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to
Shout-
Roberto. Shout out to Chris, David, Fernandez. Who else are missing?
Louis.
Louis Mandylor.
Louis Mandylor.
Yes.
Just talked to him today. He's doing well, but he couldn't make it.
Awesome.
Love Mandylor. He's a character.
Congratulations to Louis, by the way. He's getting married, so congrats.
Right
to him.
on.
Yeah, congrats to him, man.
There must be something in the water. I'm not going to drink it.
Is that P. Diddy's water? Is that P. Diddy's water bottle?
Ooh.
Yes.
Be careful.
So any last words from you, gents, before we say goodbye? Because I know you're all busy, and I want to go and jump in my pool.
I'll jump in real quick, and I just want to give a major shout out as well to Ojan, David Walks, our EPs there, and
Yes.
and great guys, and really they were really wonderful on set. I know having EPs, having producers on set all the time, every day, all day long on some projects has been problematic. And I got to say, they were great. They were really great on set. They were real team players. They wanted the very best for the project, and they pulled out all the stops on their end in terms of making sure that the film was completed and the monies were paid out and everything was done on the up and up. So Ojan and David, big thanks to them. And as far as I go, you can find me wherever. I'm mainly active on nothing really anymore, but I'm on Instagram and X and Facebook, and it's all the same address. It's the letter I, the letter M, and then my name, Corin Nemec. You can find me there and find out about upcoming projects. But I got some great stuff coming out. A movie called Joe Baby with Ron Perlman, Harvey Keitel, Deacon Lockman. I play the title role. It's not a huge role, but I play the title character, which is cool. And with the same producer, David Lipper, I have a film coming out through Paramount in late August, cinematic release called Place of Bones with Heather Graham and Tom Hopper and Cowboy Cerrone. Audrey Cummings directed that. It was great film. I'm really excited about that. And another film that I wrote, produced, and am acting in called Deadly Justice that came out around the same time as Daylabor. So that's available for streaming right now. And then, I have about 4 or 5 other projects that are coming out later this year. We can talk about them later this year.
Thank you, Corin.
Busy man.
Oh, and news on Blackwater Blues real quick. Yes, I have a company now that's representing. I have a company now that's representing Blackwater Blues in California and Los Angeles. I won't say the company right now, but it's very reputable, and we have some incredible meetings coming up finally for that. And to be honest, 2 years since we finished it up to today is not that long, because generally it takes about 6 years to get from the idea of making a pilot to actually filming a pilot episode in Hollywood. If you ever get it done, is about 6 years. So we got it done very quickly, and we're only 2 years outside of having it finished, and we're shopping it. So I have great high hopes for that it'll be hopefully up and running in production later this year.
And that's with Jason London. And Jason is a very good person. He's also in Florida now. Thank you very much, Corin.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on Chatbox with Sam. Danny Arroyo. Say, I can't say it right. I can know.
Arroyo. Arroyo.
If you want to be
my tongue won't even move that quick.
It's all good. I've been called worse, trust me. So Arroyo.
Me too.
Look, like I said, I have a Wild West Chronicles and an episode coming out that you'll be able to see on Tubi and Amazon August 8th. A couple months back, The Stolen Valley came out, playing on Apple TV and Amazon. But Gary was cool enough to come watch it with me on the big screen. Appreciate your support, my friend. Thank you for that.
Always.
I'm working on a project called Socio that I'm raising money for right now that I wrote. It's a mini series, and I'm super grateful for that with my producing partner Rayhan. And if you guys ever want to see some of my films, Tubi has been such a great platform. I'm so surprised how good they are. They got like 9 or 10 of my projects on there. If you type in my name, they come up. So have fun, go
There you
at
have
it. And, I have a TV show there called Sangre Negra Black Blood. I did 4 episodes with 4 more coming out for season 2 sometime later this year. So check that one out. I play a detective. But overall, just grateful, man, to be a part of this production here, man. Sean, you wrote a great script. Corin, Gary, couldn't ask for better people to act opposite with. R.L.S. Frazier, thank you for being an amazing director, helping us out. You know, the cinematographer, Roman, he was fantastic and easy to work with. If you don't have a good cinematographer, it doesn't really matter. And this guy really had a great vision and he knew what to do. So thank you to him and Tacho for the makeup. Grateful, man. Sam, you're amazing. Appreciate you bringing me on board for this. And grateful. Guys, follow him on Instagram if you want. Mr. Danny Arroyo. Mr. Danny Arroyo.
And he's on Twitter too, or X. I prefer Twitter, but there you go.
There you go.
Gary.
Yeah. What I have coming up.
I don't know what you're watching.
Wake up, Gary. Wake up.
I'm listening. I'm listening. So I guess we're talking
Are you
about
watching golf or something? It must be watching something really fucking boring there.
He's on his Xbox.
No, I don't own any game systems, but no, I guess the stuff I have coming up, I have a few films releasing. Operation Blood Hunt, which I shot in Thailand with Jonathan Rhys Meyers and Louis Mandylor, and that's coming out sometime later this year. A little Western we did, kind of an art house Western. I don't know when it's coming. It's any month, I'm told. And then some other drama is coming out. And I'm getting ready to go shoot with Sean in Vegas on Pay Homage opposite Amy Johnston. And then right after that, I fly to the Philippines to shoot with Scott Adkins, Cowboy Cerrone. I know you just mentioned him, Corin. It's like a big action war movie. I'll be there for a month in July and August in the Philippines, and then I come back. Is
Mark Lebanov involved in that?
He is.
Okay, yeah, I love that guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I just talked to him today.
Sorry,
He's with
what was
Louis.
his name?
Who?
What
happened?
I was listening to Corin. What did you say? What was his name, Corin?
Oh, Mark Lebanov. He was our executive producer on Deadly Justice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's the main producer of it's called Death March, current title for the movie out in Philippines. And then I get back from there, and if schedule stays, I'll be in Virginia Beach shooting a period piece. I don't know, it's called Asbury Park or Exit 101. It's going to be a kind of a big mini studio movie. Lucky to be part of that. Peter Dobson directing, writing.
I love Peter.
Mark Klebanoff involved in that. Peter is actually, speaking of which, he's going to be in the movie with me and Amy in Vegas. Peter Dobson.
That's great, man. We were neighbors on Woodrow Wilson in the 90s.
Nice. He's such a sweetheart, man. He's like buddy all day long. I just fucking love Peter Dobson. So I hope we all get together.
I think he's hilarious. Oh my god, he came on my show.
He's one of one, man. He's one of one. So everyone's got stuff going on. It's beautiful. So and Sean.
And Sean Crayne. Vegas is where it's all happening.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the opportunity. It's a blessing to be able to. My light just went out over here. But it's a blessing to be a part of it. Something I spent a lot of years trying to get made and pay homage, originally called Twisted. I just want to first, say thank you to Corin. Thank you, Danny, Sam, for being on here, but Gary especially. Daylabor was awesome. It was a baby of mine from the get-go. Obviously, Torque Films, great enough to put it out and believe in it. But also just to Roberto and to Louis and Amy kicking butt in it, and Kevin Gage and just Chris Ashworth. David Fernandez, Roberto Sanchez, just amazing cast for a film like this. And the stuff coming out. I'm happy to direct. I'm ready to go for Pay Homage, which we start filming on June 7th in Vegas. Then after that, obviously Exit 102 or Asbury Park. I'm blessed enough to possibly have a small little role in that as well. Another film, 72 Hours from Torque, coming out hopefully this year, as well as Deadly Games that I helped write. And then on top of that, it's just more and more projects. I have one in August, hopefully that I'm working with Louis Mandylor on. helping him with that, and then continuing hopefully with Joe Cernio and Kevin Internado. But Peter Dobson for sure is also in pay homage, so I give him a huge shout out because he's been a busy man. He just got done with a film called Paralysis in Vegas as well. So there's so much coming out, but I'm just happy to be here with you guys. From Rotten Tail to Bundy to everything that Corin has done. Rotten Tail, I just love immensely.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's one of his favorites, isn't it, Corin? Rotten Tail.
These eggs aren't made of chocolate.
I love Rotten Tail.
And
but
Stargate and Supernatural. So I did want to bring Bonnie on because I wanted to say thank you because she does all behind the scenes. Without her, I'd be a mess.
Excellent work, Bonnie.
Bonnie, come on, please. Bonnie, she's just become a grandmother, so that's awesome.
Congratulations.
And I wanted to say
I'm a grandpappy myself now.
Oh,
Yeah, I
your
know.
daughter had. I know. Congratulations, and me too. I've got three, so I'm a. So season 4 of Chatbox with Sam is coming out in the beginning of June. I have a couple of cast members from Kevin Costner's Horizon coming on, so look forward to that. Anyways, thank you all very much, Danny, Corin,
Yeah.
and Gary, and thank you, Bonnie, for being on Chatbox with Sam. We'll have an update later in the year. Please go to Apple TV and watch Daylabor. It is really worth watching. It will catch your heart. It certainly will. Good night, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everybody.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Danny.